Hello musicians, welcome back. This is Bucky Dirtle and I am doing a video tutorial today on VCV Rack modular synthesis, open source modular synthesis platform. And specifically I'm doing it on this Sonus module called Chainsaw here. Before I get into that, I want to make a little quick clarification. If you go to the browser here in Rack and look for Sonus Modular, you're not going to find Chainsaw. You will find Fat Sawish Oscillator. That's this one. I don't know why they've got two different names, but if you click it, there you go. You see? So if you're looking for it, that's where you find it. Okay, let's give this a shot. There are three oscillators in this oscillator, this module, and three of them are saw type of oscillators. They have that sort of sound. So let's just have a quick little look at what kind of sound they're making. I'm going to take that patch out and let's turn up a little and see what we get. Actually, I'm going to have to turn off, disconnect my VCA. Let's try, outputting directly in here. Okay, so this is what we get as a default sound, and everything is at default here. So you can see that we have a few options here for controlling our oscillators. We have 1, 2, 3 oscillators. We can tune each oscillator separately. And so we can put things crazy out of tune. Again, right-clicking on any of the dials put us back into default. By slightly detuning, you might get the sound you're looking for. It almost sounds like a pulse width modulation, but you can detune. That might get you certain things you're looking for. This seems to be, considering the name Chainsaw, it seems to be a type of an oscillator that you may be interested in, like making real saw basses or harsh leads. So all kinds of things you can do with it for sure. So let me just turn it down a little bit now. And also, along with this being able to be detuned, all three oscillators can be tuned separately. We can change the wave shape of all three of the oscillators. So all three can change. Now you can see up on the scope that we can change these. If I change all three to exactly the same far left, you get that result. You know, you can get some pretty funky looking shaped sounds on the scope, and these may give you certain things you're looking for. But let's have a listen to it. Let's see what some of these sound like. I'm going to keep them in tune for first as we do this. So I'll go up a little bit. So we'll go to default, all the same. So you can really get some sharp edge sounds here. And then if you take our tuning out a little bit, then you're going to get some pretty cool sounds. You may have some uses for some of these sounds. There you go. I'm going to put us all back in default, right back into the default tuning and shape. There you go. Back to the default. Okay, now that's that. Now we also have down the bottom, we have an alignment, and that will align all of the, let me turn this down. That will align all of the oscillators with the first one. So yeah, that may be useful too for you. And so then you can play again, you know, change things around, you know, have a bit of fun with it. Anyway, so, but that's what the align does as well. It aligns all the other two oscillators with the first, so it makes sure everything's synced up, okay? So there you go. Now let's have a little bit more fun with the with seeing what it sounds like running off of the Turing machine. Let's see what that sounds like. Now you can see that I have the Turing machine all hooked up here. And I like the Turing machine because it just gives you some nice, pleasant sounding random notes. So just to see what we get here, you can see that if I change my shape, you get different, very subtle in some cases. Get some subtle changes, and let's detune a little. So you can play with this and see what you get. There's lots of different options here, of course, and depending on the music you're doing, you may be able to find a perfect sound. But it's a nice little oscillator. Doesn't do a lot of things, but it certainly what it does do, produce like some unique saw sounds. It certainly does that pretty good. You know, it's nice stuff. So you might want to play with this one. Alternatives would be to stack up multiple VCOs. Like to say VCO2, say for example. VCO2 allows us to output, let me just put this in here, get that out of there. VCO2 lets us go between waveforms pretty easily. So like we can go between, you know, a sine wave to a triangle to a saw to a square. So we can do that very smoothly here with a VCO2 fundamental. Well, see, if you had 3 of these in a row, you would basically get a lot of what we're getting from Chainsaw. We get that with 3 VCO, and you may get more, in some ways, more options because you can variate between the saw waves. You might be able, because right now Chainsaw gives us variations on saw waves. You may be able to throw in a sine wave or some other things and get some other variations. Just a thought. This is it's a really nice module. It's really nice. It gives us some unique sounds. So, you know, play with it. One of the things we didn't talk about was we have VCO inputs on our shapes for all 3, and VCO inputs for our tuning as well for all 3, and a VCA for the alignment or the sync between the 3. We can trigger that to reset from time to time to keep us in check. So good stuff. It's a good module, really good stuff. So have fun with it. I like what I'm seeing from Sonus. It's really nice modules. They make some really good things, really interesting modules we really want to play with. I'm sure Chainsaw will definitely find its way into my music. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. If you got any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'll try my best to get back to you. And good luck with all your own music, and I will see you next time.